The Karate Kid, the Rainforest, and the United States Department of Justice are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is June 22nd, 2022. It is the 173rd day of the year, and there are 192 days left in this year. It's the 25th Wednesday of the 26th week, and the second day of summer. You got 92 days until fall. Maybe we won't mention that. We'll just enjoy summer a little bit. If today's your birthday, you're a Cancer. Congratulations. We got another astrological sign finally. Today is World Rainforest Day. This day has been set aside to help protect rainforests by raising awareness and encouraging action to protect the rainforests. Organizers of this annual day say 20% of the oxygen we breathe and the fresh water we drink is attributed to the rainforest of the Amazon. The Amazon absorbs carbon dioxide, stabilizes climate patterns, and is home to half the world's plant and animal species. The concern of organizers is that an area the size of 40 football fields is lost every minute, every day. That seems a little excessive. I know it's slowed down considerably over the years. I think that's an old number.
A few moments later.
Well, I just looked it up, and apparently we lose 80,000 acres of tropical rainforests daily. So that would equal out to about 150 acres are lost every minute, every day. All right, let's see what else June 22nd has given us. 1870, the United States Department of Justice is created by the U.S. Congress. One thing leads to another, and we have accident attorneys applying for government jobs. You probably have heard of the United States Department of Justice, and it's headed by the Attorney General and all that good stuff. But what do they really do? What is their mission statement? Here it is. It is to enforce the law and defend the interests of the United States according to the law, to ensure public safety against threats foreign and domestic, to provide federal leadership in preventing and controlling crime, to seek just punishment for those guilty of unlawful behavior, and to ensure fair and impartial administration of justice for all Americans. Now, they voted it into existence on June 22nd, 1870, and it didn't take long for them to be up and running because it officially opened for business on July 1st the same year. So within 10 days, they were up and doing things. The 1870 Act also created the Office of the Solicitor General, who represents the interests of the United States before the U.S. Supreme Court. One of the first big things that the Department of Justice did is they went after the Ku Klux Klan in the early 1870s. Ulysses S. Grant appointed the first Attorney General, whose name was Amos Ackerman, and the first Solicitor General, who was Benjamin Bristow. During their first couple of years, these two brought indictments against 1,000 Klan members, which led to 550 convictions. The result was a serious drop in violence in the South. In 1884, control of the federal prison system was transferred to the new department, away from the Department of the Interior. Over the years, they added different departments to the Department of Justice, like the Antitrust Division was in 1933, the Civil Division was also 1933, the Civil Rights Division was 1957, Criminal Division was 1919, Environmental and Natural Resource Division was 1909, that's pretty early for environmental issues, the Justice Management Division was 1945, National Security Division was 2006, and then back in 1933, the Tax Division, and they actually had a War Division in 1942, but it was defunct in 1945. Basically, their mission with that one was to bring charges against our own soldiers and stuff who had done illegal stuff. If you go to their Wikipedia page, they have the Office of, and all these different things like the Federal Detention Trustee's Office, the Immigration Litigation Office, the Information Policy Office, it just goes on. There's like 60 different offices in this department. It is definitely one of the bigger parts of the United States government, and very important. 1893, the Royal Navy battleship HMS Camperdown accidentally rams the British Mediterranean Fleet flagship HMS Victoria, which sinks, taking 358 crew with her, including the fleet's commander, Vice Admiral Sir George Tryon. 1918, the Hammond circus train wreck kills 86 and injures 127 near Hammond, Indiana. 1942, the Pledge of Allegiance is formally adopted by the U.S. Congress. 1944, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signs into law the Servicemen's Readjustment Act of 1944, commonly known as the GI Bill. I used the GI Bill. That's how I got through college. 1969, the Cuyahoga River catches fire in Cleveland, Ohio, drawing national attention to water pollution and spurring the passing of the Clean Water Act and the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency. Now, this is very interesting. This could have been our deep dive. I've talked about this on my other channel because it's amazing. That river was so polluted that it caught fire. Now, we're not talking the docks. They caught fire too, but the fire was actually the water. The water was on fire like maybe gasoline would catch fire if you had a bowl of it or something like that. That's how polluted it was. 1990, during the Cold War, Checkpoint Charlie is dismantled in Berlin. This is a very interesting part of history. When we split Germany, the Soviets and the Americans, there was basically a line down the middle of Berlin. You had East Berlin, West Berlin. Well, they had one gate, and it really wasn't a gate, and people could flow freely back and forth across it, and there was a lot of defection. In 1961, the Soviets decided they need to curb this, so they put up a guard shack, and it grew into Checkpoint Charlie. Now, there's a whole bunch that goes into this, but I just broad brush it. Maybe next year we'll make it the deep dive. Movies released on June 22nd. One of the greatest movies of all time, 1984's Karate Kid. A martial arts master mentors a bullied teenager in the art of self-defense. In 1985, Pat Morita was nominated for an Oscar for the Best Supporting Actor for his role in the film as Mr. Miyagi. I only watched the first season, but they've kind of brought back the characters from the first one, and now it's called Cobra Kai on Netflix. I gotta watch more of that. The first season was pretty good, but if you've never seen the original Karate Kid, watch it. It's an amazing movie. Director John G. Avildsen also directed the movie Rocky, which had the whole underdog coming back and winning thing as the Karate Kid does. It's kind of the same storyline. Born on June 22nd, 1949, Elizabeth Warren. She's a politician who became a U.S. Senator for Massachusetts in 2013. She is known for her no-nonsense attitude, making her popular among American progressives. She taught American bankruptcy law at Harvard Law School. She did a study, and I read about it one time on people that go through bankruptcy and how there's not much documentation on it, and they really never got into it. And that's because a lot of people that went through bankruptcy didn't want to participate in any studies or surveys or anything like that. They just wanted it done and over with. And she got into it and did a lot of research on it. Very interesting. Died on June 22nd, 2002, we lost Ann Landers. She was an advice columnist. Her Ask Ann Landers syndicated column circulated for 56 years. Before she started doing this, she worked as a nurse in Chicago. She was in good health most of her life, but she was diagnosed with multiple melanoma in January of 2002 and died on June 22nd. She refused medical treatment for her condition. She was 83 years old. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, and be nice to each other.